Hello guys, this is the editorial of February 8. So we are catching up all the episodes which we missed. At least 10 episodes are pending. So please see to it that you are watching. My regular audience I know will be watching and waiting for the episode. So I'll complete it for sure. But because of the health issues and all, I'm taking time. Okay. So the test series also, now we started with 120 days plan and now it's nearly 99 days. So if you are a serious aspirant, you can still catch up if you have done a lot of preparation. We'll give you a study timetable and also weekly test series also. So please see to that if you are very serious about clearing, enroll. Okay. So this is the way to contact me. WhatsApp number is given. So please contact. I'll give you the details. First, we'll see the agenda. Three articles are important today, and others are just political articles. So, this is Punjab elections. We will not discuss. This is the UK politics. There, the government, there are many problems. Many are resigning and all these things because even in spite of the COVID protocols, many people within the government were seen doing partying and going in gathered big gatherings. Okay, like that was not allowed. So it's kind of now COVID scam they are calling it, and many are resigning from the post and also the government may topple. So about that, okay, not much other information. This is important. The WTO reforms we'll discuss in detail, and this is the COVID updates about the new nasal vaccine which may come soon, and the new budget allocated, and how India is doing extremely good in terms of COVID when compared to other countries which are even smaller in size and still not able to manage it. Okay, so that kind of details we'll see. This is Kerala politics. In Kerala, you know, there are two groups. One is LDF and one is UDF. So LDF is the left wing, which is the ruling one now, which has the Communist Party and many Muslim parties and all. And UDF is the one which has the Congress parties and its allies. Okay. Then third will be the BJP party, which is again anyway nowhere in power in Kerala. But LDF and UDF are the strong contenders. So about them, they are politics they're discussing here. This next article or next sheet, this chart, it is actually comparing the attendance in the parliament and the parliament committees, and you know most of them doesn't attend on time and attend correctly. So 40%, 50% attendance rate. So that in graphical format they have shown. Then this one is the pharma industry and the API. I will tell you what is API. So about that a discussion. So these three green color article is what is important. And this one, if you see, is the hijab row. Already a very big video. I have already done 30 minutes video. Go and watch it. You will get all the answers. Entire controversy. You will get it there. And then in this, only two things were important. That is two case names in Kerala they have given for reference. You can use it in your exam. So this Amna Bashir versus CBSE 2015. In this, the Kerala High Court told that girls can be allowed to wear hijab, okay, during the exams and all. But in 2018, it was a reverse that students cannot individually decide such things. School has the power to decide dress code. Okay, so these two are two opposite things. So both are from Kerala High Court. So you can use it as a reference when you tell about this incident. Okay, so this is the full agenda. It will be having a lot of information. So please watch till the end. WhatsApp me and Instagram me because daily lot of posts we are posting there, and this complete thing will be free of cost if you are supporting us. Okay, just keep subscribing, liking, commenting. Whenever you watch a video, just leave a like and comment. It takes just 5 seconds for you, okay, but it gives a very big impact on our channel. When there are many other channels who are giving you a lot of clickbaits and other things, we are trying to give you complete textbooks, newspapers, everything for free. So please support, okay, else we also will be forced to go towards the paid course format. In Vysh courses channel also news updates are there, which is non-editorial news. So please watch that. You will surely miss a lot of marks in the exam if you don't watch these things. Okay. Now, these are the foundational videos. Whenever somebody comes newly to our channel, we'll give them in English or Hindi based on the medium. We'll give you foundational videos, and that is what you have to watch first. Without this, we will not give you lectures because we are not here to simply throw materials at you. Okay, it is to make you a proper aspirant. So this is the first process. So come and get this and start immediately. Okay, it's all in a systematic format. One after the other, it is made. You just have to watch it. Okay, just sincerely watch it. You will become a much better aspirant. And the lectures also, everything will continue based on your responses. Where there are no likes and comments, the videos will not continue. Okay. So the first article, WTO reforms. You know, WTO ministerial conferences happens every 2 years, and because of COVID, the latest one was going on postponing and cancelling and all. And the latest one, MC12, which was supposed to happen at Kazakhstan initially, then it was postponed, shifted to Geneva and many things. But again, it got cancelled. But outside the ambit of WTO, people are meeting, having virtual meetings, and they are discussing about the trade things. Okay, especially now this discussion is about the e-commerce things. Okay, so digital trade negotiations continue their ambitious march forward. Okay, so we'll see how in on December 14, 2021, these three countries, Australia, Japan, Singapore, okay, they are the main conveners of a joint statement, plurilateral, meaning many countries together, joint statement initiative, JSI, on e-commerce. Okay, they are the three conveners, but many countries are there. Okay, that are all details I'll tell you. So they are talking since last at least actually 5 years. 2017 they started something like this joint statement initiative, but by 2019 they many people signed it, and 3 years since discussion is going on, and they're telling now we are having more convergence, and now by 2022 end we'll have a much better guideline kind of thing. Okay, so they, if you see, JSI members account for over 90% of global trade. Okay, but that is trade wise, but number wise if you see, only 50% of the countries have joined it. So over half of this WTO members, mainly from developing world, is continuing to opt out. Okay, because they are fearing that it's like kind of arm twisting and making like forcefully agree to developed countries global rules. Okay, and India and South Africa are the ones who are opposing it. They are leading this resistance, and they are the most like biggest critics of this JSI initiative. Okay, so they did not join it. Now, legal argumentation against this JSI and the long-term development vision. This is what India is putting forward, that you should have a vision. You should not simply agree to whatever you want. So can India sustain this? Now, this is okay now, but can India tailor its engagement with the WTO to better accommodate its economic and geopolitical interest? Meaning you will have to upset many countries also when you are opposing something. Okay, so will it be able to do it for a long time? So now if you see WTO in 1994-95 time it came after GATT, its predecessor, and then around 98, its second ministerial conference time, it agreed on core rules of e-commerce regulation. And also there was a temporary moratorium imposed on custom duties. Okay, so custom duties was not there relating to electronic transmission of goods and services, and it used to keep continued. This used to be renewed all the time. But again, this is opposed by India and South Africa, because they believe that this kind of temporary things is affecting the cost on developing countries, and they are unable to benefit from the revenue custom duties would have brought. Okay, so this is why India and South Africa kind of countries are opposing it. Now, members also agree to set up a work program on e-commerce across 4 issues. Usually, whenever we talk trade, there are 4 things. One is goods, one is services, one is intellectual property, and then overall development. These are the 4 issues on which the work program is there, and the WTO people are discussing always. Now, we know, frustrated by the lack of progress in 2 decades, WTO always have failed to satisfy everyone. So because of this frustration, 70 member countries, as I told, convened by that Japan, Australia, Singapore, they together brokered this JSI in December 2017 to initiate exploratory work on the trade related aspect of e-commerce. Now, several countries, including developing countries, signed up. Okay, even though India did not sign, many other developing countries signed, as I told, 70 members. And interestingly, China and Indonesia also were surprisingly entering into it, because they thought if they sit outside, they cannot make or know what is happening. Okay, so they sought to shape the rules from within the initiative rather than sitting on the sidelines. Okay, so they are also part of it, but India and South Africa are not part of it. Now, they are rightly pointed out that JSI contravenes the WTO's consensus-based framework. Okay, meaning usually WTO means everything is consensus-based. Everyone should give their opinion, voice and vote should be there, and that's how you decide. But this JSI is like opposing that, and they are doing something like a separate group. Okay, usually it is General Council work program. They will have a General Council, they will discuss. So India and South Africa is trying to revitalize it and bring it back and all, where all the WTO members will include and discuss, but that's not happening now. Now, if this thing with JSI separately, if they are doing something and if it has to be legally valid, either it should make everybody come into it, meaning either build consensus or negotiate a plurilateral agreement outside the aegis of WTO, meaning it will not be a WTO reform. You cannot call JSI as a WTO reform. You can call, okay, yourself, some 70 countries have come together and made something. Okay, this is the only way to make it legally valid. You cannot call it WTO reform by not including all the countries. Okay, now India and South Africa's positioning strikes a chord at the heart of global trading regime. Okay, because they are trying to balance the sovereign right of states also. At the same time, they want to reap the benefit of global trading system also. So they are trying to not completely stay away. They are going on discussing about that somehow you should bring consensus. Now, there are several issues when developing countries and developed countries always have problems and they disagree. One such important issue is the free flow of data across borders. Okay, in India also, we had this data localization thing and all, where you have to store and process all the data within the territorial borders, meaning the server systems, everything should be within the country itself. This is a key policy priority of India also. In India 2018 and all, MasterCard, American Express, these people were prohibited from issuing new cards for failure to comply with 2018 Financial Data Localization Directive, which was issued by the Reserve Bank of India. Okay, now the Joint Parliament Committee also in India on data protection recommended stringent localization measures for sensitive personal data and critical personal data in India's data protection legislation. So we have always been very strict about this. Okay, however, nations and industry in the developed world, okay, like big countries, they are looking to access new digital market. So these kind of restrictions which we bring in, right, India, which bring in, they're imposing unnecessary compliance cost for them. They think that it is hampering innovation and it is unfair protectionism. This is the things which developed countries think about India's and other countries' measures. Okay. And there is a similar disagreement regarding domestic laws that mandate the disclosure of source codes. Okay, meaning when developed countries make something and all, the source of it or the we tell right, technology sharing that should be done. Okay, that's what we tell. But developed countries believe that this also hampers innovation, and whereas the developing countries believe that it is essential for algorithmic transparency and fairness. Okay, so developing countries now believe that when something is there, you should it should be transparent. Everybody should be knowing about it, like what is the source code of it. Okay, so these are recommendations in India's report. So this is two scenarios they are telling there is differences between developed countries and developing countries. Okay, now India's global position is reinforced through narrative building by both political leaders also, industrial leaders also. Both are talking in the same tone. Okay, now data sovereignty is championed as a means of resisting data colonialism. Okay, meaning you should have that data sovereignty. Each country should have their own data protection, everything. It's not like the Silicon Valley companies or the US company, they will all decide everything and then based on that everything will work. It is not the case. And also surveillance reform, personal data protection, algorithmic governance, non-personal data regulation. These are the main things, okay, which should work for everyone, individuals, communities, aspiring local businesses, and not just only for established large players. Okay, whenever you do things, everyone has to be considered, individuals, communities, and aspirants, everyone. Now, hastily signing, meaning you quickly, simply without thinking anything, go and sign this kind of JSI and other kind of trade reforms. This is going to affect in the long term in policy making and all. But now India is having a problem that there are other big groups coming outside WTO. Like we have RCEP, which is also for economic reforms. There is this CPTPP, which is also an economic progressive development reform, which is for another countries. So when these things are coming, they will all start making new reforms. Then WTO will not be significant. Okay, so India could risk becoming an unwitting standard taker in an already fragmented trading regime. Okay, meaning as I told, trading regime is getting fragmented. There are many small groups coming with 10-15 countries in each group. So they will start making international rules now. Okay, so that is why India should not be like left out. Now there are alternates existing. They are telling there is some legitimate public policy objective. There is essential security interest. So many things are there which can be negotiated by India. Okay, and also they are telling example of another like countries like Singapore, Chile, and New Zealand. They have come up with something like digital economy partnership agreement. Okay, so like this, India can also push for a framework where countries can pick and choose modules with which they wish to comply. Meaning, let them make the JSI, but inside that, whatever you feel you can comply, that you can separately take, and like-minded countries can come together and make some separate policy. Okay, which can work for India and that like-minded countries. Okay, so these combinations can be amassed incrementally as emerging economies such as India work through domestic regulations. So now you see WTO is failing. So, but despite it failing, the WTO plays a critical role in global governance. Okay, and negotiating without surrendering domestic policy making holds the key to India's digital future. Meaning we should negotiate without compromising anything on our domestic policies. Okay, so this is the overall article on trade reforms. Now about the COVID, it's a very interesting article. So here if you see, they have given in a very nice bullet pointed format. Every paragraph is given like that. So it's very easy for you to frame the answer also. So Indian government, have announced about the precaution shots or the third dose booster shots. This we have announced. But after that, some developments have happened. 4 developments. One is 2 COVID vaccines have received conditional market authorization. So I will tell you what is that. Okay. Then second, phase 3 clinical trials, which include this nasal vaccine. Okay, that phase 3 trials is going on, which can be approved soon. Then Omicron has largely increased and it's like affecting almost everyone in the country. Then in the budget, 5,000 crore has been allocated for vaccinations in the next year's budget. Okay, so these are the things which happened in the recent times, 4 developments. Now we'll discuss everything. Market authorization, that point which I told. So usually, now what has happened is Covishield and Covaxin has got market authorization. Okay, but it has not got full. It has got only conditional. Okay, not the full, but the conditional. So that means what? Usually, now how are you getting vaccine? You cannot go and buy vaccine from a medical shop and then go to a doctor and tell, okay, put it for me. You cannot do that. Government is prescribing it. Government will tell a date. That day only you can get it. Okay, but when it becomes market authorized, okay, that means medical products are market authorized means you can, anybody who wishes to buy, go and get that from this thing or from doctor's prescription. Like buying usual medicines, you can buy it. Now there is a conditional market authorization. Okay, so don't confuse the both. So for general public, actually nothing has changed. Government will continue the same way, vaccine administration. But in future, it will become the other way. Okay, and maybe after many years and all, vaccines will be available in the stores or doctors will recommend it whenever you want to buy. Okay, so now only effective change is for the vaccine manufacturers. Okay, by making it a conditional market authorization, vaccine manufacturers, there is a change. Now they are already submitting all the safety data, efficacy data, and all to the regulator every fortnight, meaning every 2 weeks. But now they can submit it after, I mean, every 6 months. Okay, so this is the change which happened when the vaccine became conditional market authorized. Okay, but for public, nothing has changed. But when it becomes fully market authorized, public can buy it from the medical stores. Now, this is nasal vaccine, second point. So, this one, if you see, as I told, clinical trial, it's going on, and a lot of interest are there for various reasons. This again, 5 points they have given, so it's very easy, as I told. So, first is the ease of administration. No needle, no syringe, there is less biomedical waste. It can be easily given as a nasal drop or nasal shot. It can be given. Okay, that is the first thing. So, that's why it's getting interest. Now, second one, the immunity. Okay, immunity, this through mucosal antibodies, that is through your nose when you give, are likely to perform better in reducing transmission. Okay, now third is the children. Okay, you don't need to give syringe injection and all. Children, it might be useful because there is a rumor that children are going to school and then bringing back this disease, and then it is affecting the elder. So you can give this nasal shots easily to children. Now, fourth one, we need more vaccines in the entire world because many countries are not having access to vaccines, or it is very costly. It is not, protection is lesser. So if you have variety of vaccines, it can be helpful to end the entire world's problems. Okay, so more vaccines are needed. Then combination of this injectable one and the nasal one might provide blended protection. Okay, because now it is getting, like, evidence are coming that more you are vaccinated and more you get the natural infection and all, your immunity will increase. So that also I'll discuss in the next slide. One thing is that once Omicron has come, everyone, doctor, WHO, everybody is telling that at least 50 to 70% of the entire population will get the Omicron at least once. Okay, like we also have got it here and it has gone. In 1 week, it has gone like a flu. Okay, so everyone will get it. But good thing is that a study from South Africa is telling that 14-fold increase in antibodies happened. Meaning when you get Omicron once and when you get recovered within that 10 days or 7 days, you are getting high protection that next time when the Delta is getting into your body also, you have the antibodies already to fight with them. Meaning your immunity is getting stronger. These are the studies from South Africa. Okay, because that is where Omicron was the worst. Now, hybrid immunity acquired after natural infection in combination with 2 shots of COVID-19 vaccine provides better protection. Meaning you have the 2 shots of like Covaxin or Covishield, plus you got the disease also. Okay, that means your immunity will be very high. And now a new thing they are telling, sandwich immunity. Meaning already you have hybrid immunity, meaning you got the infection once, Delta or something, you took the 2 vaccines also, and now third, again you got Omicron also. That means one more layer of infection you got. Then you are having sandwich immunity, which is again much more higher immunity they are telling. Okay. So, no reason for any urgency to administer COVID-19 booster shot to the healthy adult in the age of 18 to 60. Then children also is at low risk. So, that also we don't have to force. So, this third dose, it's just like we are introducing it, but it's not like you have to be worried or go run and ask for it or forcefully put the children into it or forcefully put the healthy adult into it. It's not required now. In future, may be required, but not required. But again, when I tell that, it doesn't mean that these people, this 18 to 59, will never get it. Okay, how much ever you get immunized, it doesn't mean you will never get it, because over the time, your immunity may decline. Okay, after some time and all, your immunity may decline. Second one, the COVID is going on mutating. So maybe again another new variant of concern will come, which is more dangerous than Delta. Then all this immunity may not help you. Okay, so that is the 2 reasons why which you should not be very casual also. Okay. Now, larger proportion of the adult population might need a booster. Okay, later in a longer interval. And once there is evidence that this is actually needed and it's actually affecting elders, then a third dose should be recommended for adult of any age group. Now, funding, the other point. Okay, as I told, 5,000 crore has been allocated. So initially to everybody told, okay, everybody criticized, it's like insufficient. Okay, but when we clearly look the data, it could be actually sufficient, because last year itself, India made an advance payment of 1,500 crore in this advance market commitment to this company, Corbevax. So already around 30 crore shots or something, we have made half payment for it. So at least 10 crore doses we'll get easily without any payment now. And also with this new 5,000 crore which is allocated, again 20 crore to 33 crore dose we'll again get. So that is more than if need. That is what is needed now, because we already 95% of the population is first 2 dose vaccinated, and 75 is, I think, 1 dose, something like that. Statistics there, it's more than 70% anyway. Okay, so this much would be enough. Okay, to sufficient to vaccinate the remaining eligible population. Okay, so in pandemic response, efforts are made to reduce and halt any transmission. This is what usually we do, but now doctors and everyone are telling this fresh wave has a silver lining, meaning it is actually good. Meaning, as I told, the natural infection, when you get, your immunity is improving. Okay, so ongoing third wave gives India some time to decide whether we need booster shots or everybody are getting more antibodies and they are getting improved. Okay, so this one, Again, first 2-3 points are there, I have highlighted like this. So first is the context and situation matters. You cannot decide generalizing like, okay, Denmark is doing like that or New Zealand is doing like that. You cannot do that, because context of India is different from other countries, because we have a different kind of low median population age. The youth of the India is like very high compared to other countries. So different type of vaccines also we are using, and vaccination of the majority of population is like after the natural infection second wave. So there are various things which makes us different from other countries. Okay, so this is what other big countries are also doing, or developed countries are doing. They are using local data and evidence. Denmark also is analyzing their local data, and they decide, okay, in our case we need a vaccine for 5 years to 12 years, so we will give vaccine. So like that you have to do. Same like that in India, this tuberculosis and this JE vaccines and all we gave, which other countries never gave. Okay, so every country has its own demand. So that is the first thing. You have to have the context and the situation. Second point you have to take care is the citizen participation. Any pandemic will only get over if citizens participate and not simply believe in rumors. Okay, so let us as citizens not demand a booster for any adult age. Let us not rush into the vaccination of children younger than 15 years of age. Let us not link vaccination to school attendance. Children need not be vaccinated to attend school. Okay, so this unscientific, misinformed public disclosure and this and all we have to stop. Okay, so government at all levels need to step up transparent and timely science communication, meaning they should come up and tell, like, children don't need this booster shot, or you are okay, you don't need the third dose. Everything government has to come and tell. Now third point is identify vaccine and vaccination specific policy questions. Okay, analyzing the COVID-19 disease vaccine data, link them with clinical outcome to assess the effectiveness. So everything has to be scientifically done. The right policy questions has to be done, and primary research has to be done both clinically and epidemiologically. Okay, so data is the key. You have to rely on data and frame the policy based on that. Now, this is the last slide. India's COVID-19 vaccination drive has matured. Like I told, 95% got single shot, 75% got both shots. So however, the task is still unfinished. Okay, we have the need and we will have the fund also, so we will be getting the booster shots, and based on, as I told, the context, the evidence, the clinical trial, based on that we will do. But alongside, as a society, we need to come to a consensus and prepare a roadmap to live with SARS-CoV-2. We should learn to live with it. Okay, we should have the protocols, the usage of mask or using the sanitizer, keeping distance, this and all we should take care in future for the lifelong thing. Now the last article, Pharma and API. Okay, so what is API? API is active pharmaceutical ingredient. Okay, meaning to make a medicine, to make a drug, we need lot of APIs. Okay, like neomycin, many things are there, which it's not like your a dolo where you tell the medicine name. Inside that, what is the content, that is called API. So many ingredients are mixed together and the drug is made. So every big pharma company generally deals with 200 to 250 this supplies of API. Okay, the formulations. This is the context. So about API, we know much of the API we are importing from China. So we have this Atma scheme now, and pharmaceutical is a big part of it. So we have already the phase 1 production linked incentive PLI scheme, where we are trying to reduce the import of this thing, APIs and this DIs, that is drug intermediates, and the key starting material. These are all that things only, small things which is needed to make a medicine. This is the phase 1 where you produce in India and you will get the incentive. Okay, so country thought like we'll get a lot of interest because we have to reduce it from China. Okay, but the response was very poor. 239 applications came, only 61 were selected, then also 11 withdrew, so only 50 is there which is selected. Okay, 50 applicants, and also there were around 41 products, okay, which were thought like we will produce here, but 5 of the products were not even selected by anyone, meaning nobody wanted to make it. Okay, so this kind of problems happened in the initial phase. So India actually needs a strategy, not just a scheme. I mean, you cannot simply announce, okay, this one or that one. You cannot like Swachh Bharat or anything. You cannot simply announce. You have to have a strategy to actually have it on the ground. Okay, so now the companies will invest in production in India if they see a prospect of producing at prices cheaper than the cost of import. Meaning you're producing it, suppose $10, and in China you are getting it for simply $6. Then why should you produce it here and waste your effort? You can simply import it from there, right? So you have to have cheaper production cost. Okay, cheaper imports from China will be a problem. So this is the first concern which the firms are telling. Okay, because import from China are reported to be cheaper by 35 to 40% compared to the indigenous products produced here. Okay, second one is the technology. Technology plays a very crucial role in reducing import dependence. Okay, so China has big machineries and their scale of operation is very large. They can bulk produce. That is why it is cheaper there. But India, technology and all these things are very less. So technology plays a very good component that you have to take care. Now, another point is manufacturing facilities. In this scheme, PLI scheme, they're telling that you should have new manufacturing facility, meaning you should build a new setup and from there you should produce. But actually, long back, before we imported from China, we already had some production unit, but we stopped it. It was wound up production unit once the Chinese things started coming. But in this scheme, this permission is not there to use this inoperational or underutilized facilities. So that is also a problem. So you should allow these old units to be used instead of depending on or building new facilities. Okay. Now, third one is significance of an industrial policy that is in tandem with trade and science and technology policy. Okay. So whenever you have an industry policy, there should be a science policy also, trade policy also. Many things should be there. Here, PLI scheme is standalone thing that is announced, but nothing else is there connected to it. Only when you have multiple policies, multiple ministries working together, something can be continued, something can be made a success. So this is standalone. So that is the third concern. Okay, hope you understood. So UPSC can ask you what is the concerns. Why is a PLI a failure? Why is pharmaceutical thing we are not able to reduce dependency on China? These are the points you have to write. Okay. Now, nearly 3/4 of the production of pharmaceuticals in India is by MSME. Okay, this is also one of the concern I'll tell you. But in this scheme, they are morely focusing on these large firms, large private sector firms who are actually not interested in this. Okay, because the APIs are sold with their chemical names without any brand. It will not have brand. It's not a company name. It's all the chemical, as I told, neomycin or cetirizine, something which is inside. No, that medicine content is what is told. So that without brand, the large firms have no interest. Okay, but the scheme is actually focusing on large firms. So that is again a contradiction. Whatever companies which showed interest also now, everything is like that kind of thing. So it seems like policymakers are interested in taking advantage of efficiencies associated with the scale of operations by encouraging large firms. But it is equally important to include small firms also. Okay. And another thing is last point involving the public sector. As I told, many people, no beneficiary was identified who wanted that 5 products, as I told, which are antibiotics. And here 4 of them are listed: neomycin, gentamicin, tetracycline, and clindamycin. These are things which has been not selected by any beneficiary. Okay, anyone. So there is a lack of enthusiasm also by these people. So these kind of things, which is actually significant for public health, that time when no firms are coming forward, private firms, you should use the public sector enterprise. Because in India, we should never forget like how much role public sector enterprise has played in different schemes and different operations. So you have to bring in public sector enterprises for these products which are being rejected by all the private firms. This is the 3 articles. So like this, please learn every day. Now the quiz episode also I'll upload soon. But if you are a serious aspirant for 2022, you have to enroll to a good test series. If not Vysh IAS, something else. But if you want Vysh IAS, please WhatsApp me at this number. I'll try to get you the details. And these are the different playlists. Please subscribe. If you hit a subscribe button, it makes us like more motivated to make the next episode. Okay, so please hit subscribe and WhatsApp me. So keep studying. I'll come up with the next episode. Thank you and have a nice day.